Yeah, you got Instagram.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, go ahead and start.
Good evening, everybody. Well, afternoon. We'll get started in probably about 60 seconds. All of you who have come to stand with us and support clergy and speakers right behind me. Everybody that's on the steps. I'll tell you why. You be on the steps if you're not a camera holding the camera doing press. I'll tell you why you be on the steps in a minute. You're gonna understand the significance of that.
My Lord.
I want to thank the members of the press for meeting us here this afternoon. What we have for you, it will not be long. We are here to announce a historic march, but before I get to the meat of that matter, let me say, don't zoom in too close because the orthodontist put some pink rubber bands on my braces today. It's not gum stuck in between my teeth. My beloved mother has just been diagnosed within the last few weeks with breast cancer. And she is a fighter, and so are we. And so I want to stand in solidarity with those during this month of cancer awareness. We stand in solidarity with that community as we kick cancer's butt. Alamance County has been the subject of state, local, and national attention around the advocacy work of many organizations that are relentless in our pursuit of change right here in Graham, North Carolina. As many of you all may recall, our organization, Justice for the Next Generation, convened the Alamance Burlington March for Unity and Justice on July the 11th, which made history right here at the monument. More than 1,500 people occupied the streets to draw attention to long-standing systemic racial oppression upon the citizenry here in Burlington and Alamance County. Some facts that came out of that march on July 11th. We were alleged to be a hate group and a threat to the business community right here on the square. However, no business was harmed. In fact, the businesses that stayed open were patronized as a result of our presence. It was alleged that we were bringing destruction to property. However, not one establishment was impeded upon, nor was there any destruction to anybody's property during our march. It was alleged that we were bringing violence and we were bringing guns and we were bringing weapons. However, there was no display or no demonstration of violence. In fact, our marchers were by far and large peaceful. And we come in peace again. On October 30th and 31st, we will convene a very ambitious plan, 2 marches, 2 cities, for 2 causes. Voting for change. Right here in Alamance County, we are returning back to Graham because our people here, I'm a native, I grew up here, I was born in Alamance County. I was raised in Alamance County. I was educated in Alamance County. The Drumwrights still live in Burlington and Graham. And so let me say my people here. Under Terry Johnson's administration, Sheriff Terry Johnson's have suffered. Blacks and Hispanics have and are still suffering. Right. It has gone on record that Terry Johnson has stopped blacks and Hispanics at a rate of 4 to 1. 4 times that of our white counterparts. As a matter of fact, you all may be aware in 2012, U.S. versus Terry Johnson court case for racial profiling Latinos at checkpoints and traffic stops. Terry Johnson reportedly told his deputies, and I quote, "Go out there and get me some taco eaters." On October 31st, right here in Graham, there's going to be a whole lot of taco eaters marching on Terry Johnson's streets. The systemic oppression is real. We don't have to stay stuck there in 2012. In 2020, Alamance County Commissioner, let me call his name, Bill Lashley, said, and I quote, "And you can't do now what we could do when I was on." Lashley said on May 18th, "We used to beat the hell out of them." This is a commissioner that is running in this race. This is the attitude of commissioners right here in Graham, North Carolina, that refuse to remove this monument, that refuse to even entertain conversations about the removal of this monument. As a matter of fact, within the last few months and weeks, voices have been silenced and people have been pulled out of the county commissioners' meetings who are speaking up in support of the removal of the monument that we are standing in front of today. Let me tell you why we have chosen the courthouse steps to announce our march. Because a few weeks ago, we couldn't stand here. A few weeks ago, we were not welcome to stand on this public property. If it were not for the success of a lawsuit, local NAACP, myself, and other plaintiffs on that lawsuit fought the county of Graham to remove these ordinances and policies that prevented us from standing at the base of this monument and standing on the steps of people's property. I don't know about you, but we are out here today refusing to be quiet. We are out here today refusing to stop marching. We are out here today refusing any form of white supremacy and racial oppression that has been long-standing here in Alamance County and other parts of this great state. It makes no sense that we had to fight in court to stand on public property. But you know why? Because it's going to come down. It's going to come down. We're going to march people to the polls on October 30th in Greensboro and on October 31st who are going to vote for change. Change is going to happen all over America. Change is already happening all over America. Reports that people are standing in line for 12 hours to vote in early voting lets us know that change is already happening in America, and Alamance County will not be an exception. This is a nonpartisan march. This march is asking people, is encouraging people to go to the polls and vote for change. As a matter of fact, There are candidates that have already stepped up to express their support for change here in Graham. And while we are not here to uplift any particular candidate, we are up here to lift anybody, candidate or not, that is standing with organizations by the dozens here in Alamance County that are demanding that this monument be dismantled, that this monument come down, that this symbol of racial oppression and white supremacy come down. It has come down in Asheville. It has come down in Charlotte. These monuments have come down in Durham. These monuments have come down in Kent County. These monuments have come down in Salisbury. These monuments have come down in our state capital in Raleigh. These monuments have come down in Loudoun County, in Clinton County, in Granville County, in Rocky Mount, at the back park of the Confederate statue in Vance County, in Wilmington County, and it's going to come down right here in Alamance County.
Yes,
We have said all along that our marching, Spencer, our marching, Quinceland, AA for J, that our marching is about more than just a monument. It's about the systems of white supremacy, bigotry, and bias that overshadow this monument. We are convening these marches on Halloween weekend because this year, October 31st, will not be about Marvel and Disney characters. We're not going to dress up as X-Men and Disney princesses. This is the I Am Change legacy march to the polls. Because it was the great Maya Angelou, the great American poet, the great African American poet, that said, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. And as we know, this is the year that marks a 100-year milestone in women's voter suppression. As we know, blacks and browns have not been able to vote in American history in times past, not too long ago. And therefore, we are going to exercise our right. We're going to pull our sisters and our brothers out of these neighborhoods. We're going to canvass. We're going to pull our brethren and our sisters out of these silos, and we're going to march them to the polls for change. Can I hear I am change? I am change. We're going to march down these streets with Skittles in our hand in honor of Trayvon Martin's legacy. We're going to march down these streets with hoodies on our heads.
Come on.
We're going to march down these streets with George Floyd's name on our backs in honor of Floyd, in honor of Breonna Taylor, in honor of Tamir Rice, in honor of Jonathan Price, in honor of Sandra Bland, in honor of Vanessa of the Hispanic community, in honor of the legacy. And y'all know we did on July 11th, and we're going to do it again in honor of the legacy of Wyatt Outlaw. People who could not vote then will vote with us on October 31st. Black folks who could not vote then will vote for us on October 30th and 31st. The oppressed who have had knees on their necks will be able to vote with us on this weekend. This will be a weekend of voting. This will be a weekend of justice. This will be a weekend of legacy. And this will be a weekend of change. Can I hear you say Black Lives Matter? Black Lives Matter. And so we implore Bill Lashley, since you apologized for your racially motivated and spirited remarks to the Alamance County community, then that means you're going to march with us, Sir Commissioner, if you are truly repentant. Sheriff Terry Johnson, this is a march for all people. And so we're hoping that you won't just be out here to profile us, but that you'll be out here in support of us. We're encouraging members of the community, elected officials, organizations to join in with us for the I Am Change Legacy March to the Polls in Greensboro on October 30th and in Graham, North Carolina on October 30th. We're going to take this city by storm because we believe in change. I have Ms. Quincelyn Ellison, followed by other members of the community that's coming to give some remarks at this time. Quincelyn Ellison is the president, the leader, the organizer of Alamance Alliance for Justice, our legacy organization that has been at this court square every weekend since July the 11th. Let's show them some love.
Thank you, Pastor Drumwright. I want to just thank you all for showing up. Thank you, press, for coming out. Like Pastor Drumwright said, back in July, when I reached out to his organization, Justice for the Next Generation, it was because here in Alamance County, we were dealing with fear-mongering. We were dealing with so much oppression, and nobody was willing and felt comfortable enough to go out and march in these streets. It's our rights to be able to express our demands and be able to protest and lift up what we require. And we weren't allowed to do that. And reaching out to his organization, they helped us to be able to collaborate and become collective with a lot of great organizations. We work with Forward Motion Alamance, People for Change, Down Home. Those have been some great organizations to help build what we're trying to do here in Graham. And what we're trying to do is push change. We've been in county commissioners meetings pushing for the monument to be removed. The unfortunate part about that is we don't even usually get heard. We spend lots of time planning, lifting up our points, and a lot of times we don't get heard. Like Pastor Drumwright said, we've had members of our organization be arrested and drugged out of those meetings. So how can we, the constituents of this county, talk to you about how we feel if we're being oppressed in such a way? So it's important for you guys to want to be a part of the change. We've been protesting all summer long, and now our protests, if you follow me on social media, I have talked about often how the protest has been shifted to the push for the polls, because we need to get you guys out there and push for change, because the current elected officials we have are not even wanting to entertain the idea of change. So I hope to see you all on October the 30th in Guilford County and in Alamance County on October the 31st. Thanks.
Protocol has already been established. My name is Dwayne Griffin. I am the pastor of Morgantown Baptist Church in the city of Burleson, North Carolina. Of course, the young lady that just spoke is a member of my church, and of course I wanted to stand with her as well as this great man of God, Reverend Drumwright, to of course just to let them know that we are here in support, we are here in prayer, and change will take place. We have come to let, of course, the world know that in the words of the great Muhammad Ali, on February 25th of 1964, as he fought Sonny Liston, of course, experts and pundits said that he couldn't win, he wouldn't win, that it was a daunting task. But after the dust had settled and the smoke had cleared, Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, was standing as the world heavyweight champion. And he was asked in an interview, and he just simply said, "I shook up the world." And so after the early voting has completed, after November 3rd, after the ballots have been cast, we can stand and say in unity, we shook up the world. Amen. God bless you.
Hello, I'm the Reverend Jay Kennett. I have been a resident of Alamance County for the past 27 years, and I'm pastor of Hillsborough United Church of Christ. And I'm here today to say that this is what Alamance County looks like. This is who we are, a community that's inclusive, that wants the best for all of our citizens. We don't want our Latinx citizens to be terrorized. We don't want Black lives not to matter in our community. And we're here to make that change. And we're going to do it at the polls. And if these elected officials don't listen, we're going to come back to the polls and we're going to vote in new ones until we can get our voice heard and the people of Alamance can be heard. Thank you.
I made a promise to my fellow brothers and sisters here in Alamance County who showed up in record numbers on July the 11th. I made a promise that our work would continue at the voting booth. I'm back here to deliver that promise. I'm here standing on the shoulders of many activists and many organizers, clergy, political leaders who have already pledged their support for our march. People will be coming from all over North Carolina and be hard to involve them with our march. They are concerned with what's going on in Graham, North Carolina. We have been all over the country convening these marches. I just returned from a second trip in the last 2 weeks in Louisville, Kentucky, organizing with members of that community around justice for Breonna Taylor. Somebody say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say it again.
Breonna Taylor.
We, Justice for the Next Generation and myself, started this summer in Brunswick, Georgia. The city officials gave us the key to the city hall, allowed us to stay in the city hall all day to film a town hall entitled, "What Does Justice Mean for the Next Generation?" with Ahmaud Arbery's family. We and myself, Justice for the Next Generation, was there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We were there in Houston, Texas. We were there on the scene when the Wendy's was burning down in Atlanta, Georgia, before the news media was there. We went live at 11 o'clock at night. We were there in Atlanta for over 2 weeks, bringing attention to the racial oppression, police brutality that is longstanding in that community. We are here because we live here. We are here because we eat here. We are here because we pay taxes here. And we are here because change is coming to Greensboro, Guilford County, and to Graham, Alamance County. If you believe in Jesus, you believe in justice. If you believe in Muhammad, you believe in justice. If you are Jewish, you believe in justice. If you are agnostic or atheist, you believe in justice. If you don't believe in anything, you should believe in justice and equality for all. And so we are standing with every community. Black, white, straight, lesbian, gay, bi, trans, Hispanic. We're standing with every community. Affluent, poor. This is a representation of every community. And let me tell you, I met with the Graham City Council last night and have a pending meeting with the Graham Police Department, who have suggested that we should march on the sidewalks. We are asking Chief Christy Cole to do the right thing.
That's right. That's right.
Our grandmas are going to be in the street with us. Our babies are going to be in the street with us. This is a family affair. And it's going to be too many people to march on these sidewalks. Whose street?
Our street.
Whose street?
Our street.
I said, whose street?
Our street.
Belongs to the people, and the people are coming. And so please tell everyone you can. Alamance County, Burlington, Graham, Saxville Hall, Green Level, Mebane, Hillsborough, Chapel Hill, Greensboro, Piedmont Triad. We need you in these streets with us for the I Am Change March. Thank you so much for coming. and we'll take some questions from you all at this time. Let's give our other speakers some gratitude. Are there any questions? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. Oh, I didn't know you